بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. The Sheikh was reciting ayat from Surah Al-Anbiya, the prophets, and it's a very powerful surah that brings the reminder, a strong reminder of the akhirah. اقترب للناس حسابهم وهم في غفلة معرضون. You know, the awareness, the accountability of the people have come clear to them, and they're living in heedlessness. And this is exactly, kind of what we're living through as an ummah right now. But excuse me. And throughout the ayah, Allah Azza wa Jal talks about the stories of the Anbiya, starting with the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam. وَلَقَدْ أَتَيْنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ رُشْدَهُ مِنْ قَبْلُ وَكُنَّا بِهِ عَالِمِينَ. Connecting what we talked about last night about how one of the features of young people is the creativity, and that's what Ibrahim alayhi salam had in his youthhood, because سمعنا فتى يقال له Ibrahim. Throughout the surahs afterwards, Allah speaks about when him as being a fata, meaning to say young man. إنه فتية. And Allah Azza said وَأَتَيْنَاهُ رُشْدَهُ. Allah Azza gave the wisdom and the maturity to Ibrahim alayhi salam. And the story is known to us, how he debated with his own people, and how when they said to him أجئت بالحق أم أنت من اللاعبين إن كنت من اللاعبين أم أنت من اللاعبين, are you saying the truth or you're kidding with us? Because he was a young man. And this is related to what we were talking about yesterday, how teens most of the time still flip-flop between being responsible as an adult and still experimenting as children. Now after that, Allah Azza speaks, show us how the dua of the believer is not uncounted. This is the theme of the whole surah, the dua and the intervention of the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal in the most difficult moments in people's life. We know that when Ibrahim was about to be thrown into the fire, the malaika came to him if he needs any help, and he said no, and then he said Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil. My Lord is enough for me, and He's sufficient. And Allah Azza wa Jal intervened. قُلْنَا يَا نَارُ كُولِي بَرْدًا وَسَلَامًا عَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ. Subhanallah. This verse brings the comfort to the hearts and the minds of people throughout difficulties in their life. How many times we've gone through difficulties and we thought it become too difficult and too bleak, and we're unable to find an end to the tunnel. Then eventually Allah Azza from out of nowhere, from حيث لا نحتسب, Allah Azza brought an ease to us from His own power and ability. The same is to be demonstrated. وَلَقَدْ نَادَانَا نُوحٌ مِّن قَبْلُ فَاسْتَجَبْنَا لَهُ. Nuh have called us from before, and we know how much Nuh alayhi salam have suffered with his own people 950 years. ألف سنة إلا 50 عاما. And then after that, he spoke about the struggle of Ayyub alayhi salam. رب مسني الضر وأنت أرحم الراحمين فاستجبنا له وكشفنا ما به من ضر. And زكريا إذ نادى ربه ربي لا تذرني فردا وأنت خير الوارثين فاستجبنا له وأصلحنا له زوجه إنهم كانوا يسارعون في الخيرات ويدعوننا رغبا ورهبا وكانوا لنا خاشعين. Subhanallah, you will see that the dua of the believer is heard by the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal, and the intervention is very much possible by the mighty. Immediately. But Allah Azza wa Jal from His rahmah to us wants to see us coming to Him, and that's why it takes some time for the dua to be responded, because the mighty responds to your dua if it is in benefit for you right away, or He could be delaying your dua to be answered because He wants to hear the dua from you, or He could be giving you rewards of the dua both in the dunya and in the akhirah, or He could be preventing from you calamities to be falling onto you by your dua, because the qadr comes down from the sky and the dua goes up to Allah Azza wa Jal, and they both wrestle in half away, and whichever is powerful will be revealing. So let this surah not just be a surah of sounding and a beautiful recitation, but a surah to restore the peace and tranquility and confident in the power of the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal, more specifically in the time we're living in right now. We're watching the news, and the news is very, bleak, and things are very difficult and chaotic on a personal level. Sometimes also we go through difficulties and we think we will never be able to see the ease. Ease is coming, no matter what. Inna ma'al usri yusran, inna ma'al usri yusran. Allah wants to hear your dua. Connect with Allah throughout the month of Ramadan in these beautiful nights with du'as from the heart, and especially in the powerful times of du'a, like the last third of the night, upon your iftar, while you're fasting. Those are all times that du'a, inshallah, will be accepted. May Allah the Mighty bring an ease to the Muslim Ummah, and give us the victory, and help us once again to be able to lead and to be in the company of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and give us the ability to pray in al-Masjid al-Aqsa آمنين مطمئنين فإنه على كل شيء قدير وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.